because this is going to be a future. Create the new engineers, future engineers when you talk about solar installation. Because we have a lot of resources here when we talk about solar. Oh, sure. I've been to Uganda, I've been to Kenya. We don't have that culture of traveling a lot comparing to Westerners. But when I visit other countries like Kenya and Uganda, I found a lot of difference. I think people here are so friendly. They are willing to cooperate, they are willing to help compared to where I went before. Yeah, so even the police, even the other people, well, yeah, but there are those individuals' behaviors, someone may behave rude, whatever, but it doesn't generalize all policemen,
Yeah, the majority of the police in the States always got an attitude.
And always uptight.
Yeah.
Well, they're fearful too because there are other crazy people that carry around weapons that shoot them.
And that's the thing that makes us feel like why? Because even when we see people fighting within African countries, we have political instabilities when we go to Central Africa and some West African countries. But it gives us some difficulties to understand why people are fighting. Because we don't have such experience in Tanzania. I think people are fighting just because some are from northern sides, some are from south sides, or because of regionalism, religious issues. We don't really understand. So it's a bit different for us here. When you see on the television, people are fighting to find the reason why. Because they are Christians and other Muslims. Why? It's not a reason.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense at all. Doesn't make sense. But most of the country is unstable because of the political issues.
Yeah.
Because we still have those rulers and leaders.
Yeah.
And the rulers don't want to leave their positions. And some minorities feel like this is too much for us. But I understand for the USA it's a different case. It's a different case because it's like. But I don't know why. Most people you don't know. It's like it's a.
My phone just stayed on 36% for this time.
I was talking to your little sister. Yeah.
So it's like everyone is allowed to carry guns whenever he's going in USA. What is happening?
Well, there's some states that's carrying, open carry.
But why?
Well, mostly everyone is allowed. If you're a felon, then you can't carry a gun.
That means if you've been to prison.
And basically, you have to go get registered to carry a gun. And once you get registered, you can carry a gun, either open carry. And there are certain between each of the states, there are certain laws that are different, but mostly it's easy for you to have a gun if you go through the process of doing.
That's why it's easy for crazy people to kill people.
Right, and then there's a lot of people who don't go through the process and don't have registered guns, and they just carry them anyways too. So,
and sometimes it's for protection because you can be the color that we are and have a license to carry. You can have all the proper paperwork, and it will still shoot to kill you.
yeah.
So a lot of people are saying, "Well, I don't want to go through the proper channels anymore." Because they're going to kill us anyway.
Yeah, you're right. I see. Oh, I tell you, in Tanzania, owning a gun is a long and boring process. Very long.
It's a long
long and boring, and you should have a very very strong reasons why you need to have the gun. You'll be discussed from the community level, village level. And if you have the reasons, then they take you to the district level. They discuss you again in a meeting, and then they take you to the regional level again. They discuss you before you get the weapons, before you get the license to own them. And then from the regional level, it goes to the national level. Now, before you cross all those 5 levels, then if you have the strong reasons, then they give you the weapons. It could be the pistol or whatever.
But you don't have to go through all that in the States.
No, here is you don't get it. And each year they will check your records. How did you use the weapons? Not just you go to the bar and you drink your lager and you start firing and things like no, they will take it soon.
Yeah.
And there is no reason why. We have police we have army who are going to protect the community with their major responsibility is to protect you and the community at large. Why do you want to have this? If they don't have the reason, they don't give you. You don't get it.
See, this
But
is totally
it's
different in the States.
Totally different states, I see. And it's like,
Well, that's why it makes us feel more relaxed being here because
yeah,
you don't have that watchman
yeah,
all the time and
no,
worrying and looking back. Oh, is he talking to me? Am
Yeah.
I going to jail now? You know, that kind of thing. And it makes you feel a lot freer
yeah, yeah.
because, you know, in the States you're more uptight, especially wearing our, what they call it, our suit. And I'm saying this is not our suit, this is our color, this is who we are. But, you know, there, you driving while black, you can get pulled over and shot and killed. You walking while black, you can get shot and killed. So,
Well, look, just take the history of the police force. And after I say this, I want to ask you about the history of your police force. And, you know, what are the differences? The history of the police force in America is they started out as slave drivers. They were slave catchers.
yeah.
And so what they would do was, you know, they would have these badges just like the police wear badges in the States now. And they were, you know, they would patrol the area for slaves and whatnot that were running away or trying to run away, so on and so forth. And then it evolved into, from there, it evolved into the KKK began to take up a lot of the police positions, you know, years later, so on and so forth down the line.
does he know who the KKK is?
I don't know what is that. But I
Oh,
could
wow.
understand.
Wow. The
What
Ku
is
Klux Klan?
It's a white,
You know who the Ku Klux Klan is?
No, I don't know.
they're in Zingers. They're all in Zingers.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they,
No, that's one, yeah. That's what I don't know.
Wow.
Oh,
So
you
you
have
guys
to
don't
look
even
it up.
know. You guys don't even know
KKK?
yes.
about the Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
KUKLUX KLAN.
You must look them up.
Yeah, get on YouTube and do some research. You know what I mean?
It's
But
all a
basically
group
of Nzungas, and they are, you know, they are
Males.
racist towards. They're bigots towards black people, but to anybody really, other than themselves. You know what I mean? Chinese, communism. They went through a phase where they were against communism. The
And
whole,
most of them are
the whole
in big
thing.
positions.
And so there's a real history of what you would call racism and white supremacy that is prevalent in the police force in America. You know what I mean?
I see.
So how did the police force come about in Africa?
Well, it could be different, but most, as you may understand, most of the African countries were colonized, and we got independence from 1950s, 1960s. For the case of Tanzania, which before it was Tanganyika, we got independence in 1961. But before we had the police, but they were formed to secure and favor the colonialists, you know, to defend the colonialists and their properties and their interests as well. You see, and from there, after the independence, we maintained the system, but with different aim, you know, aiming to defend the people now, not the colonialists anymore. And we went on changing the rules because some of the rules we are favoring the colonial masters, and the assistants. Where when it comes to the colonial issues, we had the Germans were in Tanganyika, and we had the British. You know. And the thing is, they had two different methods of ruling. Like when it comes to German, they had the direct rule, you know, direct method. It just forced you. But when it comes to English people, they were using indirect rule. That means they were using the local chiefs,
Right.
the local leaders here to rule, and they were getting assistance from the police as well, from the police army. But from there, you know, how you change the community, how you help people to understand is how you make them understand, how you change their minds, how they think about these things. So training from the government authorities to the police and the militaries, it turned out not to favor the colonialists, not to favor the leaders only, but also to defend people and their properties. Well, that's what I know about the police, but I don't know much about that because it's something different. When it comes to the securities, they don't allow the normal citizen to know much more about the security issues. They say this is for the specific units. You know, yeah, but this is how they evolved with the police, and now we are still maintaining them, and many people are going for the training, and it doesn't make we realize we recognize each one's job, we respect each other, but when come back to the community, we cooperate together, we live together, we go out together, but it just they differ when they go to work. They put on their uniform,
right?
Then that's the only difference. But the rest we share, we cooperate very well.
Wow,
Yeah.
this is God said 5683, giving it to you straight and live from the Tanzanian mouth. He's from Arusha. Letting you know how things went down. Only on this channel you're gonna get this kind of footage. Only on this channel you're gonna get this kind of content. So please like, share, subscribe. Most of all though, comment though, because we want to have a conversation with you. Peace out, love and wealth.